Miriam's blowing her nose. Anyway, hi everybody. I'm Chris, one of the co-founders, president, and the technical guy behind Keto Chow. I have a little bit of something in my throat. Anyway, if you're brand new to Keto Chow, it's a nutritionally complete meal designed to make doing keto super easy. We also have some electrolyte supplements that are amazing for everyday use and for keeping the dreaded keto flu away, even when you're off camera, just barely off camera.
Okay, let's see if there's anything in my face. Can you see anything in my nose?
Say, be sure to subscribe.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon for updates on all our Keto Chow happenings. Thanks for joining us on our keto journey.
Indeed.
Yes. Oh, I just found the tongue of my shoe. Oh, it's way in the side of my shoe. That feels better.
Anyway, Storm Chasing Gal says, I've been watching severe coverage for Tennessee, but all is well with the family there. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Thanks for the update. Jen is here, so is Marie.
Hi, Jen. Hi, Marie.
And Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Marie was actually first. Let's see. Carrie says, non-skill victory going back to DeVry. I was so close last time for bachelors. Nice. Cool. Looking at a master's after that.
That's awesome.
Cool. Loretta is here, so is Matt Franklin.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Loretta.
Let's see. Lynette is here. Hope you're all
Hi,
having
Lynette.
a fantastic Tuesday.
You bet. Having a good day.
Yeah. Supposing Darkness is here. Says, I got my
Good day.
fruity cereal, but I haven't tried it yet.
Yes.
Yeah, the fruity cereal came out on Wednesday of last week.
Its proper name is cereal milk.
Well, it's called fruity cereal. Anyway.
Cereal milk.
And a lot of people have been saying that they like it when it sits overnight in the fridge. I like all the flavors of Keto Chow after they've sat overnight in the fridge.
Me too.
It just tastes so much better. You can drink it right away.
Yeah.
Nothing stops you from drinking it right away other than it tastes better when you let it sit. Let's see. Marie says, hi, Chris and Miriam. Donna is here. I haven't caught a live for a while. Good to be here.
Hi,
Indeed.
Donna. Glad you're here.
Mimi says, I missed some live streams. So did we.
Yeah, that's true.
And
How are
we're
you,
going
Mimi?
to be missing... No, we'll be here for Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll be here.
We will be back from Tejas.
Back again.
Nancy's here from the Pacific Northwest.
Hi, Nancy.
Jen Ash says hi, and Marianne is here as well, so is
Hi,
Donna.
Jen. Hi, Marianne.
Allison says cereal
Hi,
is my
Donna.
favorite flavor.
Right?
Chris Miller is here. Long time no see, Chris.
Hi, Chris. I did not get to talk to you enough.
No.
That makes my heart sad.
Barely got to talk to you.
Like 2 seconds.
Yvette is here, says hope you're having a great week. So far, so good. We're really happy to be home for a couple days.
Yeah. It's nice.
Indeed.
Although I am watching videos about packing. Some lady I'm just binging right now. She's
Okay.
really cute. I don't remember her channel name.
Dennis says present. Donna says waiting for the new
Dennis.
fruit flavor. Nice. And Denise is here as well. So is
Hi,
Sarah
Denise.
G.
Hi, Sarah.
Kathy says don't forget to hit thumbs up. Joanna says howdy y'all. Kathy says good evening as well. And Donna says
Kathy.
I'm obsessed with chocolate malt chaffles.
Oh, that does sound good.
It does. Bob is having a chocolate keto chow for dinner while watching. Today, I had chocolate mint keto chow with butter for breakfast, and I had vanilla cream keto chow for lunch. Because there was a bag of vanilla cream that was damaged, and when we got back home from our trip to Florida, it was there on the, this is damaged, somebody needs to take it, give it a home. And I'm like,
And
that is
that's
mine. I actually yoinked it, took it right out to my car right then and there.
Nobody gets to have this.
So I've been having a lot of the vanilla cream.
I had today, did you want to know?
Sure.
Okay. I had core chocolate mixed with peaches and cream for lunch.
Nice.
It was actually really good.
Speaking of flavors, we published
As
a
a
video.
Ninja Creamy.
Yeah. We published a video on Monday.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Yeah.
2 videos.
Oh my gosh. Talking about different flavors and how flavors are, how we come up with them, why some of them get discontinued, why they start as limited edition.
Which is all stuff you've already heard before, but we say it with a yellow background.
We do.
It's cuter.
And then we also, this is actually, there's a link down in the video description. Our video team, in case you missed it, published a fantastic April Fool's video.
It's very silly.
I think it's better than Keto Chum.
I don't know. That one was kind
Keto
of
Chow
awesome.
was pretty funny.
I like
but-
the mermaid.
Yeah. And Donna says I have a Ninja Creami coming in the mail in a few days. Can't wait to try it for Keto Chow. Let's see. Denise says I made a creamy. You'll have to wait. Visual Keto is here having fruity cereal right now, and we're on the kitchen big screen.
Yes.
Adam says I reversed my gastric bypass on the 28th, already
You
noticing
did?
I need to supplement less with electrolytes.
Isn't that crazy?
That is
How are you
interesting.
feeling? I hope you're feeling well.
GGB says I just fled. Filed all my info for my front yard to be a certified butterfly gardener. Wow. I'm such a dork, but I'm pumped. That's
Do
awesome.
butterflies like tomato plants?
Apparently. Kathy says I got
I'll
my
come
fruity
see
cereal
your
too.
butterfly
I need
garden.
to mix one up and get it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Oh, Annette, they are leaving tomorrow for the eclipse to Cherokee Village, Arkansas.
Cherokee people.
Now, speaking of San Antonio, if you go to lowcarbevents.com, there's a link there to the Keto San Antonio
Yes,
meetup.
that is this Saturday.
Is this Saturday.
As in 5 days from now.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I mean,
so you can
4
meet
days from
the Compass Wellness team,
now. Heck yes.
as well as Ken and Nisha Berry. Nobody's going to be speaking. We're just going to be
We're
hanging
just going to be hanging out.
at Bigz Burgers.
And you can order or you don't have to order. We just have this big old room and we'll have tons of food that you can buy from the restaurant.
That is correct.
So you can do whatever you want.
Yep. Now, one other thing that the reason why this is all coming up is because I've been paying way too much attention to this website.
I am not
It's
doing
the
that.
National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's National Weather Service. You've heard of the National Weather Service. They have a sky cover section that you can pull up things like, well, this is the coverage right now, the predicted
Okay.
sky cover
For Monday?
for this Monday, the day of the eclipse. The funny thing is, this is the path of the eclipse.
Okay. And you're sharing, right?
I am sharing.
Not just looking at us,
Nope.
looking at that.
Looking at you, looking at me.
Looking at that weirdness.
So it's supposed to scream on through Texas and then on up to Maine. The funny thing is, a lot of people were like, Maine's going to be the worst place to do it.
Because it's going to be
Check
covered in.
that
Look
out.
at that. If you're
This
in Maine,
20,
you check
this
out that.
14, this 13,
What?
that's the predicted sky cover right now
Yeah.
for the eclipse. So
We're hoping some wind will come in and just clean up where we're at.
yeah, like there's some like right there where Arkansas, Missouri, and like this whole area, like that looks to be really good.
Yeah. But we're hoping. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we're hoping right because we're going to be in San Antonio, which I know that this has nothing to do with keto. But
Everybody wants to know this.
right now it's predicted to be we're actually going to be in Kerrville or
Kerrville.
Uvalde, which right now are predicted to be about 60%. I hope it goes down. It's actually gone down since the last time I looked at
That's
this.
still not very good.
It's still not, but here's to hoping. Anyway, so
We're
that's
gonna
what
go
we
and have fun
are.
anyway. So I hope
Yeah.
we can see you in San Antonio at the meetup.
Yes.
Do we know anybody that is there that's
I don't
coming?
know. That's a good question.
Do you
Teresa
guys
is
know
here, and so
anyone?
is Julia.
Oh yeah, hi.
And Luz.
Hi, Luz.
Todas las personas con nombres en castellano. Matt is here. Loved hanging out with us last week.
Yes!
Indeed.
Miss you already. So Matt, Sam has already made a lightsaber holder out of 3D.
gosh.
It's on the kitchen counter getting glued right
Yes.
now.
But here's the problem. He was printing pieces to it, 3D printing it, and his nozzle got clogged or something happened, and it filled up and ballooned and like dislodged parts of his printer, and I had to take it apart and I had to use a heat gun, and I was melting things and
Which is funny because Sam's pretty good at troubleshooting, actually. Like, I'm impressed with how well he troubleshoots things.
yeah. I was able to get it working, but just barely. Patricia says Massachusetts is here. There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Bob says, Chris, you're transparent. Was I? Exposing Darkness says, is there anything I can add to the chocolate malt to make it maltier?
Oh, is there malt powder? Is that
I
existing
shared
thing?
the screen. Does it make me transparent? Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Can I see your transparentness?
No. You'd have to rewatch it. GGB says the post office are playing hot potato with my Fruit Loops
Hot
4-pack.
potato, hot potato.
And back and forth
potato.
between DC and Virginia.
Oh,
hey, at least it's getting frequent
I'm
flyer
so
miles, right?
That is not awesome, Chris. That is sad. I'm sorry
We actually,
about that.
a couple of years ago, we had a couple, like 4 or
pain.
5 packages that were all going to Texas. And they all got routed through Guam.
Oh, yeah. They got a really nice trip.
Nancy says, I just finished my last orange mango. I hope orange cream returns soon. I need a dose of spring. Well, spring
That's
appears
true.
to be coming.
You know what? My grass is green outside. And it's not
Max
supposed to be this
mowed it
green
today.
Yeah, there's grass everywhere. He mows it, but then never gets cleaned up.
It's on mulch. Actually, I need to. I really need to sharpen the.
It probably needs to have some fertilizer on it too.
Yes, it does, and a weed killer. Mary Jane says, hi, my friends. It's been a hot minute since I've caught alive.
Mary Jane.
Natalie says, we just tried fruity cereal ice cream with low-carb fruity cereal sprinkled on top. It tastes just like the fruity cereal milk.
Right.
It's one of the... So, for me, the fruity cereal Keto Chow is up there with the red licorice for... Holy cow,
Nostalgic.
I can't believe it tastes
How good.
so
How
much
it tastes
like what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's nuts.
I had somebody tell me today that it reminds them of the Trix milk.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
like,
that's why
oh,
we
yeah,
called it
that's
fruity
totally.
cereal instead
Yeah.
of, well, aside from trademark issues,
Right.
all of the fruity cereals kind of taste similar, and it just
Although the
dead
Trix
on.
were the cutest.
I mean, maybe we
The
never
little
got any
tiny
of those.
grapes and the teeny tiny orange.
Chris Miller says, I watched those videos yesterday. Really enjoyed the format. Nice. Donna says, I made chaffles for my family for Easter, strawberry cream, and blueberry.
Yay!
Big hits.
That sounds amazing.
Meg says the video was fun. I got a good laugh out of it. Nice.
Thank you.
Mary Jane says, I'll place my magnesium drops order and added the small order of SALTT.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Mary Jane.
Speaking of SALTT, this isn't in the stuff we want to talk about, but
Yes.
we did have someone commenting on one of the SALTT ads, and they said, well, what I don't like about SALTT is with one packet of competing electrolyte, LMNT,
Right.
I can put that in 2 liters of water and it has a really strong flavor.
Okay.
Whereas your stuff only works for 1 liter of water. And it should flavor more water.
But you know what? It actually was designed for that. We designed it to be just in less water.
Well, here's the thing. Electrolytes are a functional thing. You're taking the electrolytes for the electrolytes, not for the flavor. I mean, it's great if the flavor is good, right?
Right.
But you're not drinking it for the flavor. If you want to drink stuff for flavor, you can go to
flavor.
get some of that flavor squeezy stuff and use the unflavored. Now, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
But we deliberately made the salty electrolyte drink mix to not need as much water to taste okay and give you actually more electrolytes than LMNT. That's and it really comes down to I kind of want to make an ad that has I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this. People who have used LMNT in the past. If you
like
ever,
LMNT.
we do like LMNT, but this is what actually this was one of the genesis of SALTT was those half-used packets of LMNT sitting on the counter rolled up.
Yeah.
And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. It's where people they only use half of one because they're putting in a drink. And they're like, the flavor's so strong, I only want to use half. And so they roll them up and they stick it next to their coffee service or their water dispenser or something like that. That right there is one of the reasons why I made SALTT.
Yeah, you just don't want to have that leftover packet.
I don't want to have to split it.
Yeah.
I don't want it. The flavor's so strong, I
that.
can't bear it.
Yep.
Anyway.
Keto
Get off
Miss
my
says,
hobby horse.
good evening all. Totally in love with fruity
Nice.
cereal. Now my favorite along with maple waffle.
That's fantastic. Oh, Adam says feeling good, a little surgically pain. I'll pull through it.
Okay.
Robin
Well, that's
says,
good.
I
That's
love the
exciting.
new cereal milk. I hope it does well enough to stick around.
Thank you, Robin.
Says they say our town is going to be crazy this weekend for the eclipse. Actually, on Monday. I just hope the weather is nice. I hope for everybody that the weather is nice because, and I know this
It's
isn't
so
the
cool.
eclipse show, But if you've ever had the opportunity
It's
to witness
just beautiful.
a total solar eclipse.
Total eclipse of the
But here's the thing,
heart.
if you've only experienced a partial eclipse, it's not the same thing.
No, it's really cool.
The difference between 99.9% totality and totality is quite literally night and day. And once you've experienced it, it's hard to not go completely out of your way and devote
really
days of effort to go see it again.
And I just really like to go on trips, so I'll just go with you.
But I hope for everyone that they're able to see the eclipse with very minimal effort, and it's a fantastic experience for them because it's really cool.
Yeah.
And I can only think, we know it's coming. We're making plans. Lots of people are making plans to travel there. I cannot imagine what it would have been like for people before all of the movements
the knowing
of
the things.
And all of a sudden that happens because it just gets dark, it
You're
gets cold,
freak
and
out.
then the sun disappears and there's this black dot that is weird looking.
Isn't it so cool that we can predict the
weird.
things, though?
Yeah.
So cool.
Jesse says, I'm not a drinker, but occasionally like a margarita and such a splash salty with a little bit of juice makes the best margarita. There you go.
Cool.
Jeffrey says it's supposed to be partly cloudy in the west side where I am. Yep. Storm Chasing Gal says, I'll be on my driveway for the eclipse, laying on your back, right?
Totally.
Donna says, I plan to show up. Denise says, I miss San Antonio. Lived there 3 years. Enjoyed tubing down the Guadalupe
How cool is
River.
that?
Christine wants to know, when are the spring-summer flavors going to be coming out?
Oh,
We
soon.
have not announced that.
We're growing green grass, so.
Yeah, it apparently is coming soon.
Although it
seems
did
like
snow last week.
Rob's here from
And it'll
Ontario.
probably snow next week.
Carrie went to church today for food and has a boatload of onions.
Heck yes.
Put it on your onion belt. Let's see. Jen says, I had to turn off my YouTube Premium until I get paid tomorrow. And all the commercials are for Keto Chow. I hope so.
Oh, that's not too bad.
We will pay for your YouTube by our commercials.
Yep.
Jujubee says it made me giggle to see 17 locations when I looked at the delivery status, when it's going from one to the other.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's too...
Marie says malt powder, you can add that to make it malty. The problem is malt, by definition,
has more
is
carbs.
sugar.
Yep.
So you need a malt flavoring that doesn't have sugar. Now, a lot of people will say, you know what? For me, it's worth the carbs. For me, it's not. I love malt, and I don't want carbs.
He loves malt.
Yep, it's true.
It's funny that it took us this long to get a malt flavor, actually.
Yeah.
Because when we met, it was malt.
Yeah.
It
I
was-
actually had the chocolate malt developed 2 years ahead before we actually
Yeah,
released
because I
it.
don't want
It kept on getting pushed back because somebody doesn't like malt. Julie,
I don't hate malt. I just like everything
Everything
else better.
Julie says fruity cereal is such a great flavor. I think blueberry will forever be my favorite fruity flavor.
Yes, blueberry is so cute, too.
Shelly King is here. Just got home from a steak dinner. Nice.
Yeah.
Best birthday dinner ever. Is it your birthday? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shelly. Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
You gotta clap because the little kids
Little
clap.
kids.
Janice says my fruity cereal should arrive tomorrow. Our eclipse is 80% and my glasses are ready. By the way, I'm just saying, if you can make that drive
Do
to
it.
get into the path of totality,
Do it.
honestly, it's worth it.
And
Tracy
come
says,
hang
I'm
out
here,
with
Miriam.
us.
I was diagnosed with lymphedema
Oh, yesterday.
I'm glad to know for sure now. I'm waiting on a referral for the lymphedema clinic.
Wow, honey.
Allison says it
It's
tastes
all
like
the
tricks.
things,
There you go.
isn't it?
Jen says, I wish I'd been around when you had the black licorice. I would have loved it.
I know, it's so freaking good.
Jenna is here. Jenna Marie. Whatever.
It's Gina.
Gina.
She brought us bacon
That's right.
at the California.
Yes. And I apparently sometimes mispronounce words.
Yeah, sometimes.
Tracy says, I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Saturday. Marie says, I love that the flavor of salty isn't so
What can I
pronounced.
bring you, Tracy? I miss your face.
Lynn says, she probably wants this.
Do you want this? No. This is not her favorite.
This is my, it just happens
That's
to be
Chris's
there.
token flavor.
It is. Anyway,
They used to have a birthday cake. It's gone.
Yeah. Yes. It is gone.
I don't know how that
Jen says
happened.
that's what I
My
do.
hair
I
is
have
out of
unflavored
control
salty
today.
and I add it to my Crystal Light. Bubble Stuff says it
Yum.
makes me sad. The red licorice is mentioned so much and no hope of trying it.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Let's see. Joanne says those small packets rolled up is why I use your regular liquid electrolytes. Perfect for me.
Yes. Because you also just don't need that much sometimes.
Christine wants to know, will we bring back Sticky Bun as a permanent flavor?
I don't know.
We don't have an announcement about
Where's
that
that
either.
button?
Oh. Well, that just says no, but we're not making an announcement at this time. The term I like to use with my kids is deliberately evasive. You're not going to get a response out of us, unfortunately. That's one of the things we explain in that
that
flavors
yellow
video.
video.
Yeah, in the flavors video is why we don't let information out about whether or not flavors are coming back or when they're coming back until we actually have them. And a lot of it has to do with
In our hands.
yeah, we have to actually test them. A lot of it has to do with things that we cannot control and bad experiences in the past where we had a flavor, had it, announced it, and then discovered that there was something wrong with it
That
and
was
had
dumb.
to
Recall.
cancel all the orders, and it was terrible.
Terrible.
Anyway, so yeah, until we have it, we will not announce stuff. So, Allison also likes that the salty mixes so well.
Oh, yay.
Let's see.
Allison,
GGB
I saw you
says,
today.
or if I need electrolyte stat, please don't make me chug 40 ounces. That makes my tummy hurt too. Just give me the electrolytes.
Yeah.
That is also a thing.
Yeah.
Because I want it to fit into a regular 500 milliliter 16 ounce.
Who says 500 milliliter? Only you. Only you.
Kathy says, is anyone else experiencing glitching? That was a good episode.
Me feel this.
Storm Chasing Gal says last year's one was my driveway cast shadows on the leaves from yeah. You're talking about the partial.
That was so
was
cool.
a lot of fun.
So cool.
Let's see, and yeah, and they're actually sitting right there. The glasses that we're going to take.
We should take them.
Yep. Yvonne says I replaced my coffee with water, Coco Loco, and Keto Brains.
Oh gosh, yes, that's
It's
so
great,
good.
hot and iced. Hoping for less clouds on the 8th. We are on the line of totality.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope everybody gets to experience it with the minimal amount of effort possible. Zena is missing chocolate malt as
I'm
well.
sorry. Chris is too.
It's true, actually. Joanne says, good evening, everyone. Vaughn says, I have honeysuckle blooming. Time for spring flavors.
Oh my
gosh. Well, Yvonne says so it must
Yvonne, can you smell them for me? Oh, they're so pretty.
Adam wants to know, when was the last time you guys went out of keto? So you mean deliberately ate food that was not keto? I had about a teaspoon, I don't know, it was about a half a teaspoon of the butter beer when we were at Universal Studios.
We
because
got some for the kids because they never tasted it before.
if it tasted like what Joe and Rachel made.
And Chris says, I'm going to spit it out. And I said, you're not going to die if you drink one little drink of butter
like
beer.
2 grams of carbs.
I tasted it too. And it didn't give me a headache. So there it is. There's that.
The last time I deliberately went out of ketosis was in 2018 when I was doing an experiment with different fats. And for one of the legs of the experiments, I replaced all of the fat that I was eating in my Keto Chow with Smarties and 7-Up.
Yeah. I thought you had Skittles.
Skittles and 7-Ups.
Yes.
That was the last time I deliberately ate something that was not keto friendly.
Paid for it.
It was not a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Marianne would have to travel a long way to from Florida to see the eclipse. In 2045, the eclipse that goes through Utah is going through Florida, and it will actually be at its maximum right by Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, our friends live there.
I was showing that to Joe the other day.
It's also going to come through our house.
Yep. Jennifer says the trick to traveling for the eclipse is to find something else to do for a bit and avoid the crowd making a mad dash home in gridlock traffic.
Right.
And we're planning on taking lots of nice back roads. And right by where we're planning to see the eclipse, there is a meat by the pound Texas
So we will
barbecue
clean
place.
that barbecue place out
Yeah.
with our children.
Laura says, my only problem with salty is I slam them down like I'm slamming a shot. Love it.
Oh, yeah. And then it's gone. You're like, I want another drink.
Charlene wants a vanilla malt.
Wow, that would be fun.
And Rhiannon points out that malt does contain gluten. Yeah,
Oh, good to
interestingly
know.
enough, our
Our malt does not.
malt does not. Marie says an Eclipse movie to watch is Watcher in the Woods. I
Oh,
watched that in
I don't remember
elementary
that.
school, and I remember it being scary, but I don't remember anything about it.
apparently it was just scary.
Also, Something Wicked This Way Comes. But I like that movie, and I do
Something
remember it.
This way comes. I don't remember that movie.
My Lisa Rachel Thompson says it snowed in central Iowa today. Not much accumulated, melted in an hour, though.
Yeah.
We actually, at the ski resorts by our house, we got 2 feet of snow on Sunday.
Yeah, we missed it.
Jen loves the harmony.
Mel, we'll go back up. I gave my home health nurse a SALTT today because
Oh.
she was impressed that the swelling disappeared from my feet and legs. Thank
Nice.
you,
That was
Mel.
Mel.
That is awesome. And I'm glad your swelling went down. That is awesome too.
Apparently, Carrie's going to make a recipe for onion ice cream. All right. Let's see. Kathy says, I love the butterscotch. Marianne says, love the chocolate malt. I had one for Friday.
Nice.
And Mike is here. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Shelley says, thank you for the happy birthday song. You made my day complete. Vicky is here. Says, the caramel needs to be more caramely. Okay.
Yeah, just take some caramel syrup and put it in there.
By the way, chocolate toffee, I think, is a better caramel than the salted caramel.
Oh,
That's me.
yeah, I think you're probably right.
Gina says, I used to get the powdered malt and sprinkle it on vanilla ice cream as a topping. Yep, that's how much I love malt.
There
Yep,
you
me
go.
too. Denise says, our last totally 100% eclipse was in Columbia, South Carolina, August 2017.
Is that the one we went to?
That was the one, well, we were in Idaho,
Yeah.
and that was totally worth the drive.
And it took us 8 hours to get home. How long did it take us to get there? Like 5 hours?
Something like that.
4 or 5 hours to get there, but then it took us twice as long to get home. And that's when we stopped at Craters of the Moon.
Craters of the Moon was
If you ever
almost
go to
worth the
Idaho,
trip by itself.
It's so cool. That's
And
the coolest place ever.
And we were cruising through there to try to get
And we
home.
just stopped for 2 seconds and we're like, oh, this is the coolest place ever. Okay, bye.
GGB says, super serious question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a timeline for when the chicken soup will be the new formula?
Oh.
It's when it comes out again.
When
I don't know.
yeah.
All of them are slated to be switched over.
Yep.
It's just when the old stuff sells out and then the new stuff.
And I could really use
switches
some
over.
taco. I made taco meat today to have
Yes.
taco salad.
I've been using the tomato basil.
I did also use
Okay.
the tomato basil, but I was looking for the taco.
Okay.
And so I pulled the stuff out of the cupboard because it's all the way up here in the sky.
Yeah.
And then somehow I managed to knock a blender bottle onto my face.
And did the ball go bing, 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 bing?
And it hurt really bad. It hit my
sorry.
chin. I thought, oh, I'm going to have a bruise or something right there. I don't know.
Tracy's sending you a big hug. Visual Keo says, my vision center is sold out of the cold cardboard eclipse glasses. So protect your eyeballs with, when you look, everyone, you only get 2 eyeballs. Yes,
Yeah.
you do only get 2.
Yep.
Let's see. People saying hi to each other. Hadesh, dang it.
Grace.
Say Grace. Says, so if I could put the electrolytes in the... So could I put the electrolytes in the Keto drink?
Yes.
You could.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of electrolytes already in Keto Chow, but you could,
If you want to,
can
you
add
sure
more
can.
if you want to.
We have had a lot of people mixing it just because it's fun to
Yeah.
taste that way.
JC says that we live in central Ohio. The path of totality is going right through us, but the forecast is not looking good.
Oh.
Let's see. Central
I'll pray for the
Ohio.
clouds to move too.
What are we looking at?
Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
there's
about
clouds.
that's
Cloudy
about what
cloud.
we're looking at in San Antonio, where we're going to go.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it will change.
The wind will shift.
Winds of change.
Can you sing it?
I'm not going to. I'm trying to catch up on
But I
this.
like your
Jennifer
voice
says, I'm
so
thinking of
much.
making chaffle batter out of fruity cereal. That
Oh,
sounds
yeah, do
amazing. Then
it.
use it to make a corn dog with breakfast sausage links.
What?
Wow, wow, wow. Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
Julie says, isn't the summer flavors just orange cream? That you know of.
That was creepy.
Dessert Dwarf says, do you use a meter to measure your ketosis?
Yeah,
Sometimes, if
but
I'm
not
doing,
very often.
if I'm doing an experiment,
Yeah.
I will. We really like the Keto Mojo. The Bio Coach is also a nice one.
Yep.
But if you're not pushing the line of what you can and should be eating, and you're sticking to good known keto foods, there's really it's not necessary to do that. Also, the amount of ketones isn't relevant to weight loss.
Right.
Sorry, fat loss, which is what I'm using keto for. Higher ketones doesn't impact that. Now, if you are treating a neurological condition like depression or epilepsy or Alzheimer's or something like that, having higher ketones is extremely relevant.
Does matter, yeah.
But for what I'm doing, high ketones are interesting, but not the goal. So I just try to stay as low on carbohydrates as I possibly can, and not snack, which is where this comes from. Let's see, Grace says the eclipse is coming right over me. Everywhere around us, they're making state of emergencies because of all the people they think are going to show up for the eclipse.
Sorry, it's going to happen.
I did see a city, I can't remember where it was, but they enacted a plan to allow people to pay to park their tents in a city park for the eclipse. They were going to charge like $80.
Wow.
Nobody signed up. So they canceled it. It's like, well, maybe don't charge that much for a tent site.
Well, maybe they're just trying to get them to go in the right place instead of a place that's free, that's random.
Yep. Let's see. Let's see. We're talking about Ohio, Texas.
Ohio and Texas are
Storm
not
Chasing
the
Gal
same
had
thing.
Irish cream. Okay, Deb says I
Nice.
made my first shake, orange mango. It's awful.
Oh, no.
I used heavy cream and followed instructions, even added some mango chunks. So I don't know that I would have added mango chunks. That's pretty high in carbs. I hope other flavors are better. I'll give it another try with another flavor. So when you say awful, what are you meaning? Are you meaning that it was
too salty?
If it was too salty or it's too thick, we've got an easy fix for you.
Yep, add more water.
Add more water. So with a blender bottle, a regular blender bottle, it should be almost full to the threads.
Yep.
And if you don't add enough water, it will be either very thick or very salty or both.
Yeah. Also, orange mango probably wasn't the best to start with because that's kind of a weird flavor anyway.
Yeah, but
I would start with chocolate.
Chocolate is a good one to start with. Yeah. And by the way, you can also heat it up and have it like hot chocolate.
Yeah.
So let's see. Michelle from Michigan says hi. Waiting for orange cream and pecan sticky bun to place an order. Just so you know, pecan sticky bun was a seasonal flavor. It came out in the fall. If you're waiting for pecan sticky bun, you're probably going to be waiting quite a while. Just between you and me and the camera over there.
Because he doesn't tell when things come out.
I'm actually not in charge of that. I have hired people to do that now. And they do a great job. And I like to let people do their job. And
You do?
I like to. That doesn't mean I do that. that's the idea.
You like to let people do their job.
Yes.
That's funny, Chris.
I try to let people. Okay, side note. We're working on a new subscription engine. We just replaced the old one with another one.
Okay, so if
We've
you
been
were
having
subscribing,
problems.
it's been a nightmare, please call us and we'll help you fix it because it has been a nightmare and we're really sorry about that.
We're closing in on a new subscription engine that has a lot of things that we
That's
had
not
been
going to
working
be as
for.
stupid as the last
Yeah.
one. That was 3 months of disaster.
Yeah. Anyway, so I actually jumped in today and just set it up myself.
Because you like to let people do their job.
Because I wanted to make sure that it was being done the way that we
Our
wanted it
people
done.
do things right.
Yeah, I know, but they're also very busy doing new website stuff. And so anyway, that part's done. Anyway, says Charlene, if anyone's missing birthday cake, just add cake batter, extract to vanilla, and it's delicious.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Also, almond extract works.
Yeah.
Ethel says, have you made Lindsay's lemon cookies? They look yummy.
Oh,
if you're
I
talking
need
about the
to do
lemon
that.
crinkle cookies, that was actually our recipe.
Oh, the one that Lindsay posted?
Yeah, the one that Lindsay posted. She
I
opened
love
up
that
the,
recipe.
she opened up the My Chow surprise box
I love the lemon crinkle cookie recipe.
and made the recipe.
So good.
And as she was eating the second one, she's like, she's like, who eats just one?
That's why I just make one batch and then pass it out so I don't eat the whole
Yep.
thing.
Okay, it's desert, not dessert.
Yeah,
Desert dwarf.
got it right.
Exposing Darkness says, I love that laugh. Kathy says, I still find pieces of LMNT packages I put aside for later.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Me too. And then they're in the bottom of my backpack, opened all over the place, and it's just a nightmare.
I actually had one of those little things of Redmond salt open up in my backpack while we were on a trip.
Oh.
Miriam was nice and vacuumed it while I was cooking steaks.
Hey, that was good. I like steaks.
Janice is going to have to watch on TV. Okay. Kathy said, talking about Charlene. Let's see. Life in the 208 says, is malt powder considered keto? Well, most malt powder, so malt. You take wheat or another grain, you soak it in water, it starts to sprout and it releases enzymes. Those enzymes go into the stuff that's actually white flour in the thing, and it starts to change that into sugar so that the growing seed will be able to use it. Then at that point, they kill the seed and steal the sugar. That's malt sugar.
Yeah.
So
So it is sugar, so it's carby.
Yeah.
So I would find a malt flavoring if you can.
Most malt powders are going to be extremely high in carbohydrates because they're pure starch and sugar. So
Do you want to know how I think you should make malt? Just go to the store, buy some Whoppers, bite one in half, and then suck out the inside.
no, because that would totally ruin. That would be
you're
super
right.
high in
It's
carbohydrates.
also not keto. I would not do that. But that's what I picture when I think of malt.
Okay, Penny says, I'm having huge issues with dairy. Is core dairy-free?
Yes, it is.
It is indeed. In fact, that brings up one of the questions from tonight. Which Keto Chow flavors contain no beef protein, which is the opposite of what Penny was asking.
Everything but core. Core is the only one that, you know what?
So core, the chocolate vanilla cream and strawberry cream core use beef protein.
Right.
The creamy tomato basil,
Yep.
the spicy taco soup base, and the beef soup base. Those use the beef protein.
Yes, but it does say it on the back of the package.
It does.
If you are ever on the website and just wondering, flip the package over with your mouse and it's on there.
Yep. But so those 6 flavors are the ones that are dairy free. All the other flavors of Keto Chow, including the chicken, the potato, and the mushroom soups,
or milk,
use milk protein isolate. Exposing Darkness says I had an Irish cream, bought 2 big bags during the sale. Yes. I can't remember if it was on Lindsay's video or on Neely's. I think it was Neely's video. Someone said that they had bought 20 big bags of Irish cream during the sale.
That's
They're
awesome.
like, it was 30% off.
Well, and
with
you
a
know
5-year
what?
shelf
If you
life,
like it makes sense.
Charlene's was talking about the birthday cake flavor. They're using McCormick flavor.
Oh, cool.
Randy enjoyed the April 1st video.
Yay!
Let's see. Terry says, how much sodium a day is okay? It depends on what you're doing. On a ketogenic diet, most people find that they need
more sodium. Yeah.
So the U.S. recommended daily intake is 2,300 milligrams per day, which is roughly 1/3 of how much salt prisoners during the War of 1812 were almost rioting over because they weren't getting enough salt. They were getting a scanty 11 grams a day.
Which we're only
Which is actually like 5
recommended to have like 4 grams a day or something.
2,300 milligrams.
Yeah, that's not enough. And honestly, I think part of the reason why our bodies don't work as well as they could is because they don't have enough salt. My legs swell on the regular basis, and they swell less with more salt, which doesn't make sense.
Well, it does if you read Dr. James DiNicolantino.
We're friends on Facebook.
I might have actually murdered that name. He wrote a book called The Salt Fix. Really interesting stuff. I highly
Good
recommend
stuff.
checking it out.
He's amazing.
But yeah, how much sodium a day is okay? Here's the thing with salt. Salt taste.
Play with it. Play with it.
When you have too much salt, you will not want to eat any more of
You'll
it.
be like, I need regular water. I need less salt.
So, Storm Chasing Gal wants to know if we're replacing the surprise chow kit with that. No. We'll be using that as the engine for the surprise kit. The surprise kit will still be what it is.
Yep,
We're
it'll
talking
still be
more
awesome.
about the build your own.
It's the back end of how things work is what it is. So it's not like it's a new program. It's just a new engine.
Yeah, Meg, who's in Blackfoot,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't go through I-15
Yeah.
until we got to where they come together.
Right.
We actually went through Twin Falls because when the last eclipse happened in Idaho, people trickled in over several days and then all tried to leave at once. I-15 was stop and go. Yes.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
It was.
Okay, Michelle says, okay, Chris, I'll put in my order in sooner than the fall.
That's probably a good idea.
Jennifer
I
says,
do
yeah,
like that
delegate.
flavor.
Yeah, baby steps. I can do it. I can do it.
I believe in you.
Kathy also likes almond extract with a pistachio.
Oh, that
That's
sounds
interesting.
good. Yeah. That would be yummy.
Evelyn wants to know when do you use C8? So that's talking about MCT.
Okay.
MCT oil will give you higher ketones. So we're back to are higher ketones something that's desirable? If you are treating a neurological condition
Yes.
or something like, maybe you're studying for a test and having higher ketones and having your brain on fire would be extraordinarily beneficial.
Yes.
Maybe you're trying to lose weight or fat. If you're trying to lose fat, using MCT probably isn't going to be very relevant.
Unless it helps your brain function better so you can
I've heard a lot of
not
people
have cravings or for carbs and things.
I've heard a lot of people who experience what's referred to as keto flu, which is just not enough electrolytes. And having higher ketones tends to help ameliorate that as well.
How do you spell ameliorate?
Just like it sounds. It's not
I
a
don't
weird
think
word.
that's a real word.
It is a real word. Anyway,
Sorry. I'm the worst.
but one thing that I've noticed with MCT, and it's actually the reason why I don't use it, is it causes my triglycerides to go way up, and it causes my HDL to crash.
Isn't that so interesting?
And another person who was doing the same test I was found similar results. So, anyway. Mary J says, here in Baltimore, we aren't getting totality. It would be our luck. The darkness would be the end of the world. Our town had heartbreaking bad luck. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So terrible. Kathy says, my salt opened in my purse as
Oh,
well.
sorry, Kathy. That's
See,
a thing.
Marie says, an idea, use chocolate malt with 2KK cereal puff recipe. Do you know what she's talking about? Their cereal recipe?
Why haven't we not made that yet?
Well, because we don't have any chocolate malt. Oh, yeah, because we just barely got home.
You're
We've been
right.
digging out of email drudgery.
Let's make it tomorrow.
But yeah, the puff recipe and then dip them in Lily's chocolate.
Yum.
That would be freaking amazing. You could totally make Whoppers.
Yes.
You could even use your dog food half circles. I
That would
kind
be
of want to know.
those would be
about-
tiny.
Yeah. Jen is ordering some core tomorrow. Nice. Penny says I need to order some core. I'm drinking what I have now, but it turns my stomach upside down no matter how I make it.
Oh,
Interesting.
Sorry.
Now this is something that we talked about in our interview with Christy Davis.
Yes, which that already posted.
It did.
So.
That adding a teaspoon
Of gelatin.
of gelatin. So say you have Keto Chow mixing in a blender. This works way better in a blender.
Right.
And you've used warm water. Sprinkle it in there, 1 teaspoon per serving, and let it mix really good. There's some stuff in the gelatin, something in the amino acids, that makes it so that people who have digestive issues with Keto Chow tend to not. Something that someone else suggested would be to make sugar-free gummies with the gelatin, and then just eat those while you're having Keto Chow.
Oh,
That
yeah.
might help as well.
Well, yeah, give that a try if you haven't tried it, and let us know. And I'm sorry it's giving your tummy problems. That's annoying.
Yeah. And Neely says, yeah, 20 bags. Keto Chow fan, boss level.
Boss level.
JJ says, I got my fruity cereal in today and made 2 shakes. Took a sip to taste. And it was so good. Yes. Kathy says, I figured out why I was glitching. I had a speed on 1.25.
Oh, yeah.
I actually do that when I'm trying to catch up. Mm-hmm. So, Dennis says, I wonder if someone could spend 6 hours to make an authentic mole using the unsweetened Keto Chow chocolate card.
I don't know.
Jen says, I was passing out from low blood pressure until I started drinking electrolytes.
Oh my gosh, that's freaky.
And Arisa is here.
Hi, Risa.
Let's see. Joanne says, MCT oil makes me run to the bathroom.
Oh, that's another good thing
Also
for MCT oil is if you need to go. Then you can use it.
That's interesting. Carrie says, last time I went to take my certification test, I think I remember you saying this. I slept for 7 hours and ate lots of eggs and meat, and I could focus on the test.
Yay.
It's a good way to do it. Ameliorate.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's see. Evelyn says, thank you so much. I have all your products. All of them? What? And I'm not sure what language that is. Yala? Okay. Anyway, JJ says 2KK cereal recipe with chocolate malt. Why didn't I think of that? Actually have some. Oh, nice.
Do it, JJ, and tell us what
Meg
you
also
think.
misses Whoppers. Charlene says, I'm trying to perfect different pudding recipes with Keto Chow and unflavored beef gelatin. I just ate the pistachio pudding with cut up birthday cake, max mallow, sugar-free marshmallows on top. That sounds really good,
That sounds yummy.
GGB says 1% better each day is all I can ask.
That is good enough.
That is good enough. Okay, a couple things we wanted to talk about. Number one, in the description of this video, there are links to a giveaway we're doing on Facebook and a giveaway we're doing on Instagram for the fruity cereal.
Right.
So there's information, there's instructions on how to enter the giveaway. Before 9 a.m. Eastern on Friday, April 5th. So you can enter in both places if you want.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. Lots of people enjoying the new fruity cereal. And there's a few people who are like, nope, I'm not a fan of fruit cereal.
Yep.
So they're leaving it for the rest of us.
It's okay. I'll eat the cereal. You just drink the milk.
Okay. It's just funny how a lot of people are like, that's great that you like it, but it doesn't tickle my fancies. And okay.
That's fine.
Speaking of which, Mike says, I like the new flavor, but not in my top 5. I think it's great, but I still like chocolate and some others better.
I feel that.
Okay, we already talked about what Keto Chow flavors contain no beef protein.
Right.
And here's a good one. Lee wanted to know.
Okay.
We are going on a week-long driving trip soon.
Okay.
What can I do to keep my Keto Chow routine?
Oh, well, okay, first of all, how do you use it in the first place? Then we'll know that. And you're driving, say you do it for breakfast or for lunch every day, you would need to mix it up and then put it in a cooler in the car with some ice. That's all. I mean, use it just like you would like a soda in a cooler.
A cooler with ice would be my number one recommendation. Because Miriam and I, we recently had this. We were coming, we landed in Orlando. We were going from the airport to the place that we were staying. And Miriam's like, well, we need to stop and get food. I'm like, well, where do we want to go? Where do the kids want to go? Because we had 3 of us who are doing keto and 3 who were not doing keto and just want to eat fries all day, every day, and bread. Because
don't feed them that.
They're poor, unfortunate children that don't
worst.
get any bread.
We're the worst.
Anyway, so we ended up stopping at Wendy's. And you got a Baconator, and I think Kate got a Baconator with an extra patty.
Yeah.
I didn't even bother getting anything.
Because would have had to pull over.
Because number 1, I was driving, and number 2, it's just not going to be satisfying. And so for me, on a trip, if I had either Keto Chow in a cooler, which you can just pull out, drink.
And we have done that a lot.
And put it back into the cooler until you have time to wash it.
Yeah. Yeah, you just put it right back in the cooler. And then if you're at a rest stop, you just go rinse it out.
Yeah.
And then you
Well,
can
rinse it out,
wash it
take the
later.
lid off, and let
Yeah.
it dry out. But something that another person recommended was freeze it. Put it into the freezer.
Oh.
Let it
And then you
freeze.
put it in your cooler, but then it'll thaw as you're
Yeah.
driving.
And you wouldn't even necessarily need it in the cooler.
Well, you'd need it somewhere where it wouldn't sweat all over everything.
Yeah.
Condensate. Condensate.
I was actually thinking about that yesterday. There was a bottle of water that had just come out of the fridge, and it was sitting there on the sofa cup holder, not covered in condensation. Because we don't get condensation like that in Utah.
Yeah, it has to be like middle of summer.
Yeah.
Really hot.
Anyway, it was just so funny.
It is funny.
Okay, so Jen has a great question. I'm not sure if I heard this right, but I think I heard someone say that the beef soup base has no flavor.
Oh no, it definitely has flavor.
It has a flavor, but it does not have added flavor. It's actually the exact same thing as the vanilla cream core unsweetened,
Yep.
the strawberry cream core unsweetened, and the chocolate core unsweetened without those flavors added.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have added flavor and it doesn't have sweetener. So you
could add whatever you want to it. So you can make a chocolate malt with a malt flavor and some cocoa powder.
Or get the
with
aforementioned birthday cake flavoring
Yeah.
and
Oh
a little
yeah, yeah.
sweetener. Make birthday cake core
Totally.
with the beef soup base.
Do it. Do it.
GGB says fruity cereal seems like a polarizing flavor. I always say Baskin Robbins has 31 flavors for a reason. Yes.
You can get their own, and it's great.
Oh wow, Storm Chasing Gal says on phone with family in Guam. There was a 7.5 earthquake.
Oh my gosh,
wow.
are they okay?
I hope there's not a tsunami. Mike says banana is near the top of my list. Okay, Rob says I have several different flavors of Keto Chow and they all taste great. However, the chocolate core always tastes chemically. How can I fix
It's
this?
that
Make
beef.
my Keto Chow with butter and warm with a blender. It could be the beef protein or it could be the sweetener.
This is what I've been doing. I've been mixing half and half. And I know that
Half
it has
core chocolate with.
I was gonna keep saying it.
Okay.
I know that the regular Keto Chow has milk protein in it, but I like the core mixed with the regular Keto Chow because it makes the flavor better. And then it's still half core.
Then you're only getting half the milk protein.
So I'm getting half the milk protein, but I'm getting half the beef, and it seems to work really well for me. So I like doing it that way. It's not perfect. It's not maybe right. I don't know. I don't care. I'm gonna do whatever I want. So try it and just tell me what you think.
And also, I'm not sure what you mean by chemically, unfortunately.
It's probably the beef.
The beef does have
really
it
strong.
does have a flavor to it. It just kind of is what it is, unfortunately. Them's the how it goes. Let's see. Jujube says I took my Keto Chow camping last year frozen.
Yes.
Got a few strange looks when I put it in the bear locker for my USO folks, but it totally works.
That totally works.
Okay.
Did we do all the questions?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Let's see. And Storm Chasing Gal says, okay, he's fine. It's over 1,000 miles from Taiwan and Japan. Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that is good. Rob says I'll try mixing half normal, half core.
Just try it and see. And if you don't like it, that's fine.
Okay, so the last question that I wanted to, it's actually our customer service team fed me this question and said, here's the question we got today. Can you address this on the
You bet.
the live stream?
Got this.
What kind of salt do we use in our products? I'm assuming they're meaning salty and our other electrolytes. Does it contain trace minerals? And they specifically says, is it as good as Celtic sea salt
or pink
Himalayan salt? I say Celtic sea salt because, fun fact, I looked this up today. Celtic sea salt is not made in Ireland. It's actually made in France using Celtic methods.
Yeah, so it's a specific method of salt.
So they have
Making salt.
tide pools that fill up with water. It's in a river area. It fills up with seawater and it gets a lot of gray clay into it. And then they evaporate that and in their there was a 1-paragraph description of it, and they said delicate 4 times.
Oh, a very
Delicate flavor,
and
delicate this,
delicate.
delicate that,
Well,
delicate blah blah. It was really
if
funny.
it's a good way to describe
I'm like,
it.
if you say delicate one more time.
Delicate.
Interestingly enough, Celtic sea salt is oddly high in moisture content.
Moisture.
Most salt is like 1, maybe 2% water, because they try to get out as much as possible. Celtic salt, the stuff they make in France, by the way, Celtic sea salt is a registered trademark.
Right.
And it's a specific company that's selling it. It's 8 to 15% water by weight,
Isn't that interesting?
which means that it's only 84.9% salt, sodium chloride.
Right.
Turns out salt is sodium chloride.
Period.
And even Celtic sea salt and pink Himalayan salt
It's
is
all
sodium chloride. Now, Celtic sea salt, 84.9% sodium chloride because of the 8 to 15% water. And if you add up the rest of the minerals like potassium, magnesium, there's 5.8% of it that's missing. And it's probably the gray clay
Oh, that makes
that gives
sense.
it its color.
Yeah.
So if you like dirt in your salt,
Well,
Celtic
just like
sea
red
salt
and
is a
real
good
salt
way to do it.
has the bentonite clay in there sometimes.
No, the bentonite clay is on the top.
Yeah.
The Redmond real salt does not have clay in it. I think it has 1.5 to 1% stuff that isn't sodium chloride in Redmond real salt.
Right.
Now, pink Himalayan salt, on the other hand, is 97.3 sodium chloride.
Okay.
It's 1.2% sulfur.
Huh.
It's actually
Because of the way
pretty high.
it's made. This is legit pink Himalayan salt.
This is real pink Himalayan salt. And there's 1% potassium, sodium, lithium, and other minerals. If you take real pink Himalayan salt,
Right.
which the Himalayan part is a marketing thing.
Right.
If you take pink Pakistani salt,
Right.
because it's made for in Pakistan, just on the border of India and Pakistan, on the lower slopes of the Himalayas.
Well, that's Himalayan.
Yeah. Anyway, if you dissolve it in water, there should be a little bit of sand or grit, or else you don't have real, actual Himalayan salt. What you have is regular salt that was dyed pink.
And then marketed as pink Himalayan
Yep.
so that it'd be more valuable.
Yep. Which there have been multiple instances of that happening. Okay, so real pink Himalayan salt, 97.3% sodium chloride. Celtic sea salt would be like a lot higher, but it's got a lot of water in it, so you're paying for water. Cool. SALTT uses purified salt from Utah's Great Salt Lake.
Right.
It contains more trace elements than you would typically get in sea salt, Celtic or otherwise, but it doesn't contain heavy metals. Those are actually taken out specifically.
Yes.
And in fact, we had it tested to make sure that we didn't need
Yes, we have the
a
batches tested.
California Proposition 65 warning, which I was really happy that we didn't need that.
Yes.
Anyway, interestingly enough, because of the higher trace minerals, that's actually why, if you look on a package of SALTT,
Sorry.
the number SALTT drink mix, the
Yes.
number one ingredient is Solar C.
AC.
It's not Solar C AC, it's Solar C something or other. I can't remember. Solar Sea salts, I believe, is what it's called. That is the evaporated sea salt
Trademarked.
stuff from the Great Salt Lake. There's no ingredient for magnesium in the salty drink mix.
Okay, but it's
There
there.
doesn't need to be one because it's in
part of the
salt.
solar sea. So we have next to the solar sea, it has a little parentheses that says
Sodium
sodium
chloride,
chloride,
magnesium
chloride, because that's what that is. So
And that's
in
because-
case you are confused.
And that's just because our source for the salt is extremely high in natural magnesium
Yeah.
along with other trace
And
minerals.
we wanted to leave it that way.
So I am of the opinion that it is much higher in trace minerals than Celtic salt and its gray clay, or even real salt. So there you go. Bum bum bum. Marie says, I like mixing unsweetened core with a sweetened flavor to lessen the sweetness.
There you go.
So half sweetened and half not.
Yeah, and I have done that too, and I haven't even noticed the difference in the sweetness. So, but I like things watered down.
Nancy is here. It's a nice seeing you again. Miss you, but I'm glad to see you home safe. Yes,
we are.
Let's see, Mike says, I bought some Redmond bentonite clay toothpaste. But I still don't know what bentonite is. It's just
It's the clay that's in the mine.
It's a specific type of clay. Yep. GGB says, nerd, nerd, nerd.
Yeah.
Mike says, salt nerds are salty.
Yeah,
there is a book. Let's see if I can find it. Salt
Google for us.
book. I actually read this. Salt, A World History.
Oh, that was a really cool book.
This book was fascinating.
Because it talks about like all the different...
Yeah.
Look,
well, and I think he was the one that wrote this cod book. A lot of the story of salt is also the story of cod.
Because
and how they would take
salt the fish.
They would catch the cod and they would pack it in salt. Mm-hmm. And then when they got back to land, they would rinse it and reconstitute the cod. But fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really cool. So interesting. I had no idea I would be that interested in salt.
And now you've read how many books about salt?
No. There you go. GGB says solar sea salts AC. You got it right.
I was right.
Contains sodium chloride and magnesium chloride, malic acid, acacia gum, natural flavors, potassium chloride, stevia leaf extract.
That's right.
Penny wants to know, what does my shirt say? It says, that's what I do. I eat bacon and I know things. Mm-hmm. Who got me this shirt? Was it Kate or my mom?
Kate always... Oh... Could have been your mom.
Might have actually been my mom.
Yeah.
Susanna is here from California. Bonnie says, I get what seems to be sand in the bottom of my glass if I use Redmonds in my water.
And that's the tiny bit. And I do that too, and I love Redmond. We will use that all the time. I have it in my purse. I have it in my backpack.
You'll actually notice the same thing on most flavors of Keto Chow that have been produced lately, because we have been using Redmond sea salt in Keto Chow. So you'll notice a little bit of grit down at the bottom.
We love Redmond. We love LMT. We love salt.
Okay, Charlene says, any preference of which Creami to buy? I'm torn after hearing the bad reviews for plastic shavings and ice cream. A lot of people like the Creami Breeze because it doesn't have the extra stuff. A lot of people like the Creami Deluxe because you can fit an entire Keto Chow into them. Like a regular mixed up 18 ounce. Me personally, I like to mix up a Ninja Creami to be 16 ounces so that it fits in the original Ninja Creami. And I just like that particular, I like the consistency when it's mixed up that way, the flavor when it's mixed up that way. And we have, 18 containers?
I don't know.
And a lot of them have scrapes on the side from the blade.
I have never even noticed.
Or
tasting plastic or anything.
I've never noticed plastic.
So in my if it is, I ate it. I need to make some Ninja Creamies too. I just realized today. But I almost like doing the Creamies better because we have so many blender bottles. I just feel like I have to keep mixing and mixing and mixing till the end of time. But we don't have very many Creami containers. So I'm like, I can do 2 batches. Okay, then I guess I'm done. And for some reason, it's just easier.
Okay.
Silly, huh?
Bess says her grandson was thrilled that we talked to you on Saturday.
Yes, hi, Bess.
You asked if he likes the new vanilla flavor. He loves it, and the vanilla flavor is more pronounced.
So glad.
He's been a big fan since the dental surgery.
Yay.
Benny says, thanks. All I could see was, that's what I do. Eat. Right. Tia's here from San Francisco Bay Area. Suzanne says, is Keto Chow safe for people on dialysis? Okay. He's 88 years old, but doesn't want to eat meat. So that's an interesting
It's a good question because we have potassium.
Well, we have a third of the U.S. recommended daily intake of potassium.
I would take it to his kidney doctor and ask him if it's okay.
Yeah. Because that's a difficult one. So Dr. Jason Fung is a nephrologist,
Yes.
a kidney doctor, and he got interested in ketosis and fasting because of how it helped people who were in advanced kidney failure stop the progress of the disease.
Right.
It wouldn't fix broken kidneys,
Right.
but at least it would let them keep the function that they had.
Yes.
But even then, people who are doing dialysis, people who have kidney failure, do need to be very careful about their electrolyte intake, specifically potassium. So
Yeah.
you definitely need to talk to a doctor about that.
And just show him how much potassium
Yeah.
is in there and say, hey, can he drink this because he needs to get sustenance?
You could even say, hey, instead of Ensure, we're thinking about using this product that has all of these vitamins and minerals,
Yes.
plus 26 grams of protein. It has this much potassium, this much sodium, this much magnesium. Do you think this would be safe?
Yeah.
Should we monitor them during when we first start using it?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But it would be a good way to get really good nutrition into someone who is having difficulties.
Yeah.
Mike says the Creamy Breeze was discontinued, I think, because people reported smoke coming from it. Wow. They're rumored to have a new device ice cream maker in development. I had not heard anything about that. Jen says, my mom asked me what I want for my birthday this year. I'm asking for a Creamy.
I love it.
And we still
I
have
love
the Creamy 301.
Yeah. I love it so much. I've been doing creamies every day. In fact, when we were out of town last week, I had no creamies and I was very sad. Which is funny because I go through phases where I do Keto Chow all the time and then I do it for like no time at all. But since I got my braces, I've been doing creamies every day.
So Teresa says,
brush my teeth as
yikes,
much.
plastic, are there any glass containers? I don't know that you would want that. Because if the
freezes.
glass container would fail with the spinning metal blade grinding against it,
You'd have glass.
well, you'd either have glass or you'd
Everywhere.
have a shatter. Whereas the
Yeah.
plastic is going to flex.
Right.
I'd
Because I see why you'd want it because glass is better, but yeah.
I haven't had any plastic in my thing.
I love ours.
Crystal says the 2KK cereal is amazing. I use caramel macchiato. Nice. And fruity cereal came
Nice.
today. We'll have it tomorrow. GGB says, yeah, take it to the doctor. I'd say it's probably good, but dialysis makes it tricky.
Right.
Mike says, Ninja also just registered the trademark Ninja Slushy.
Ooh.
We'll see what comes of that. Interesting. Jen says, I had stage 3 kidney disease. Now my levels are better. Wow.
That's awesome. And,
Good for you. That's
and
amazing.
Christy, too. Christy Davis was talking about her kidney disease on our video a couple weeks ago. So that was nice to hear her levels have improved, too.
Supposing Darkness says, I love Redmond's Black Cherry electrolytes. I didn't know they had a black
Oh,
cherry.
I want to try that.
I want to try that too.
Sounds amazing.
GGB says, a lot of premiums had problems, though, due to user error. The amount of people saying, look, I made a slushy with LMNT and water. And the owner manual says specifically, do not do this. Kathy says, I haven't had any problems with Breeze. I just have a lot of respins.
Respins, yeah. Well, and I think that just like what GGB is saying, Keto Chow has so much water in it. I could see why the ninjas can't handle it, because you're forcing it to do ice, right? You're forcing it into that. So what we like to do is we just put it in the microwave for a minute before
For about 30 seconds before we run it. Now, we've also noticed, if you have a lot of powder on top when you open it, try squishing it down.
Yeah.
Turns out that powder is probably ice cream.
It's just
it was too loose in there.
Yeah.
Penny wants to know, does ghee work with Keto Chow?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All ghee is butter with less water and a little bit less protein.
Yep.
Or no protein.
Yep.
But effectively, it's butter oil. Works really well. You would just need to mix it the same way you would as butter, with melted water, hot water, melted ghee, and please, please, please use a blender. Don't try to just use a shaker bottle.
Yeah.
It won't work.
Yeah.
Let's see. GGB says it needs sugar or fats or both. Ice is a death sentence for the motor.
Yep.
Yeah, sugar and fats. Yep. Supposing Darkness says I returned the deluxe cream because I like the smaller containers. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I've had the bigger containers, But it takes me a long time to eat one out of the smaller container. It takes me like an hour to eat lunch every day. But I'm okay with that.
Oh, it was Perfect Keto that has the black cherry electrolytes. Okay. Oh. Storage Chasing Gal apparently asked a question about fruity cereal recipes. So we don't have any on our website.
Oh, we don't. Yeah.
I think the plan is we're only doing recipes for permanent flavors at this point.
Yeah, probably.
The potato and mushroom were unique because Steve, Serious Keto, made several recipes.
And they were awesome.
And we were allowed to post them as well.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, Amy didn't just watch the video about flavors and didn't realize peach was discontinued.
Oh,
yeah, about
I know.
a year ago.
I'm sad too. I'm sorry, Amy.
Okay, Marianne says I'm on stage 3B chronic kidney disease, but my numbers are slowly getting better. Wow. My kidney doc is pleased with my progress. I'm assuming that that's unprecedented.
Right? It's so amazing.
Let's see, Penny use my NutriBullet for Keto Chow. I'm going to try these tricks tomorrow. Nice. Bubble Stuff wants to know beef gelatin with butter. If so, how much? So if you just want to thicken it,
yeah, just
1
do
teaspoon.
a teaspoon.
If you want to make it pudding, 2 teaspoons. If you want to make it Jello, 3 teaspoons.
And it kind of freaked me out when Holly made that the first time, and she like dumped her blender bottle, and it went, and I'm like, ew, gross, but it's actually really delicious.
Jen says all my medical problems have improved except GI. I'm also hit and miss when it comes to food. Well, I think we have kids coming home, so it's time for us to do our nighttime stuff.
Time for us to say goodbye.
And we've been on for an hour and 11 minutes, so thank you,
good day.
everybody, for joining us. We're happy to be back.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week, too.
And please come see us in San Antonio on Saturday if you happen to be in the neighborhood.
Yes, indeed.
That would be
And
amazing.
you can talk to Ken and Nisha, too.
Also, they're really
and
awesome.
Alyssa, and the rest of the Compass Wellness team.
That you can't remember their names right now for some reason.
I can't. I barely remember Alyssa's name.
Terry. I
barely remember my own name.
And Lindy.
What is my name again?
It's just something. Okay, let's do my feet are saying goodbye.
Okay. So long.
Farewell,
Farewell.
my
My
feet
feet
are
are saying
saying